All right, today we're diving deep into some pretty provocative material. We're looking at power, control, and a mindset that's basically designed to make you, and I'm quoting here, unbeatable. We've got a stack of sources, including bits from a book called The Art of Dark Psychological Domination. Heavy stuff.
It is. And just to be clear up front, our goal here isn't to teach manipulation.
No, definitely not.
It's about understanding these tactics, how influence works, how silent power is built, so you can spot it, defend against it.
Right. Knowledge is a shield. The sources actually say this is crucial for, quote, good people to understand the game.
Exactly. It treats these psychological tools almost like, weapon systems. It's this field often called dark psychology. It's not your standard leadership advice.
No feel-good stuff here.
Yeah, not really. It's about control, refining things like anger, silence, even that need for approval, turning them into, personal strength. Okay, let's unpack the first pillar then. It feels counterintuitive, they call it. Silence, the deadliest weapon.
Yeah. And it's more than just being quiet. The argument is, people often dismiss quiet types, introverted, maybe boring. But that's positioned as a strategic edge. Silence isn't weakness, it's framed as calculation. You deliberately hold back your plans, your real feelings, your weak spots.
And that makes you unpredictable.
Totally. And that unpredictability, it creates this unsettling feeling in others. They start wondering, what's he thinking? What's the plan?
That kind of anxiety becomes the weapon itself.
Precisely. Think about narcissists, for example. They need a reaction. Your anger, your tears, your defensiveness, that's their fuel.
Right, the emotional supply.
So imagine they attack, and instead of reacting, you just give them a cold look, maybe a slight unreadable smile. You're not giving them anything.
You starve them. Exactly. Your non-reaction is terrifying because they didn't expect it. It breaks their whole script. Their power dynamic just collapses. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. They need that reflection, and you give them a void. All right, moving to the second concept. This one requires some real self-honesty. Be real, not nice. Yeah, this challenges a lot of what we're taught. The source argues that nice people are broken first.
Oof.
The issue with always being nice, they say, is it often comes from needing approval, like an addiction.
So you end up compromising.
Constantly sacrificing your boundaries, saying yes when you really mean no, putting others' comfort way ahead of your own self-respect.
But hang on, isn't there a risk? If you're just real, doesn't that make you seem abrasive or just unlikable? People value kindness.
Well, that's the trade-off, isn't it? The framework suggests being real might mean less surface-level popularity, sure. You won't be loved by everyone, but it earns genuine respect. Think about Steve Jobs. They use him as an example. He wasn't known for sugarcoating.
No, definitely not. Blunt.
Right. Blunt, truthful, sometimes harsh. But that authenticity, that refusal to mince words, it was powerful. It commanded attention, even if it wasn't always pleasant.
So what's the practical advice then for you listening when someone crosses a line?
It's very direct. State your position clearly. In a clean, cold voice is the phrase they use.
And if they push back, argue. Try to minimize it.
Walk away. Zero explanation. That refusal to debate your own boundaries is what establishes their value. You don't get drawn into justifying yourself. Okay, powerful. Now let's shift gears a bit. We're moving into managing internal stuff, complex emotions. Pillar 3, controlled rage. This reframes anger completely. It sees rage as this pure, raw energy source, not inherently bad.
The problem is how you handle it, right?
Exactly. Uncontrolled rage, destructive, burns you up from the inside, lashes out. But controlled rage, the material says, builds a monster.
Meaning a powerful, capable person.
Yeah, in that sense. It's not about venting dangerously or suppressing it until you get sick. It's about letting it burn inside, but under control.
Like channeling it.
Precisely. Refining it into drive. The classic example they bring up is Mike Tyson.
Right. Channeling all that pain from his youth.
Yeah, the humiliation, the poverty. He didn't let it explode on the streets, not mostly anyway. He refined it, focused it, unleashed it only in the ring, strategically.
So how do you actually do that if you're feeling insulted, rejected? The advice is, don't cry. Don't justify yourself immediately. Instead, you burn silently. Maybe jot down the feeling, the pain in a diary. But then, immediately channel that energy into action.
Into action. Hit the gym harder. Pour it into learning a skill. Crush a goal. The rage becomes focused motivation, not just destructive heat.
Holding that intensity inside. It leads straight into number 4, doesn't it? Emotional detachment. Sounds cold.
It can sound cold, yeah, but it's framed as ultimate freedom.
How so?
The argument is that too much attachment to people, outcomes, things makes you fragile, vulnerable to manipulation.
Because if you lose them, you feel hollow.
Exactly. You become a puppet, easily controlled by the fear of loss. Detachment in this context isn't about not feeling. It's about stopping, quote, bleeding for things that were never in your control.
That sounds incredibly difficult. Detaching from people or things you genuinely care about.
Yeah.
How do you even train that without becoming, inhuman?
It's about separating your core identity from external outcomes. The sources claim that when you achieve this detachment, your mind gets clearer, more ruthless, more controlled.
Like a supercomputer making logical calls.
That's the metaphor they use, yeah. Decisions become calculated, not driven by impulse or fear. The extreme example cited is a mafia boss facing betrayal.
No tears, no anger.
Just observation, analysis, and then quiet elimination. His lack of attachment keeps his judgment clear, free from sentimentality or weakness. Okay, so putting those two together. Detachment provides the calm clarity, controlled rage provides the engine. Now, how does this internal mastery translate outwards? Number 5, unpredictability. We touched on this with silence, but here it's about action. If people know what you're going to do, they can control you, right? Predictability is a liability.
So unpredictability is the edge.
It's the game changer. But it's not just random chaos, it's calculated chaos. Keep your real intentions hidden. Act contrary to expectation.
Like if they expect you to shout.
You stay silent. If they expect tears.
Cryptic smile.
Exactly. The Joker is the extreme example used. His power isn't just brute force, it's his unpredictable thought. If they can't guess your next move, they can't counter it effectively. And that unpredictability, that internal control, it feeds into the next point, number 6, dark presence. Silent domination. Yeah, this isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about controlling the atmosphere without saying much at all, being felt.
How does that work? People just sense it. It's a combination of internal state and external cues. You master your fear. Your body language is key. Stand straight. Hold deliberate eye contact. Not aggressive, but weighted. Speak slowly, but pauses. So your words land with more impact.
Right. That physical stillness signals unshakable control, and it actually affects people physiologically. Think James Bond. Cool under pressure, speaks little, but everyone listens when he does. Okay, presence and observation. That leads us to number 7. Master of mind games. Invisible control. This is where you start playing chess, essentially. Reading people, spotting their weaknesses, understanding their motives, like Sherlock Holmes. But let's focus on the defense side, since that's our main goal here.
Good point. So if someone listening finds themselves being manipulated, cornered in a conversation, what's the move?
Okay, instead of getting defensive or arguing back on their terms, you flip it. Ask a question that puts the focus back on them and their motives.
Like what?
So if they say something manipulative, like everyone thinks you dropped the ball on this, you don't defend yourself, you ask something like, why do you feel the need to tell me that right now? Or simply, why do you feel that way? It forces them to justify their attack, shifting the spotlight off you and onto their aggression. It completely disrupts their script.
That's really practical. Okay, let's use this lens now to understand the tactics we need to watch out for. The source defines dark psychology as the science and art of mind control. And it targets your mental and emotional stability. They list 3 key tricks. The first one is nasty. Gaslighting, making someone doubt their own reality.
Exactly. It's designed to make the victim question their memory, their sanity, even their existence, until they become totally dependent on the manipulator.
Can you give a quick example of how that might sound?
Sure. Let's say you confront someone about a clear lie they told. Instead of fessing up, they might say, I never said that. You must be remembering it wrong. You know how sensitive you get when you're stressed.
Wow. Okay.
See, they didn't address the lie. They attacked your memory, your emotional state. Made you doubt yourself.
Yeah, that's insidious. Okay, second trick.
Emotional manipulation. You see this a lot in toxic relationships, using emotional pleas to bypass logic.
Like, if you really loved me, you wouldn't question this.
Yeah. Precisely. Or don't you trust me? It plays on your attachment, guilt, fear, to force you to comply against your better judgment.
And the third one, mind games.
These are often more subtle, sophisticated attacks. Common with narcissists, they find your soft spot and poke it.
How so?
Okay, imagine someone knows you're nervous about public speaking. Right before you go on, they give you some really pointed negative feedback designed specifically to shatter your confidence.
Ugh. Targeted sabotage.
Yeah, weakening you internally without any overt aggression.
Okay. And to defend against this, we need to know who we might be dealing with. The material highlights the dark triad personalities.
Right. First, narcissists. Selfish, need constant admiration, can't see others as equals. Your defense, starve them of the attention and reaction they crave.
Got it. Second.
Machiavellians, they use manipulation almost defensively. Often deeply insecure, they see life as a battle, so they use deceit and strategy to protect themselves.
Okay, and the last one.
Psychopaths, characterized by a complete lack of empathy, often antisocial and potentially dangerous because they act without remorse. Understanding these types is really the first step in protecting yourself.
All right, let's wrap this deep dive with the final strategy presented. It's called the art of slow burn silent revenge.
Yeah, this is the long game. True strategic revenge, according to this framework, isn't loud confrontation. It's slow, silent erosion. Your opponent doesn't even know where the pressure is coming from.
So it's not about direct attack.
No. The idea is that your own success, your growth, your relentless focus on your goals, that is the ultimate injury to those who oppose you. Your achievement is the revenge.
Build yourself up so high they can't reach you. Essentially, yes. They point to someone like Elon Musk. Ignore the critics, work silently on huge goals. The success itself becomes the rebuttal. The phrase used is pretty blunt. Build yourself so high that others burn in your shadow.
Wow. Okay. So pulling all these threads together, the silence, the controlled rage, detachment strategy, this dark attitude is really presented as a form of intense self-mastery, isn't it? It absolutely is. It's about ditching the need for external validation, harnessing your raw emotions and turning them into focused strategic power. The core message seems to be, don't just be nice, be necessary. Be effective.
Exactly.
And the sources leave us with a really provocative final thought for you, the listener, to chew on.
Go on.
The world loves heroes but fears villains. Your kindness is not feared. Your darkness is. Darkness is not evil. It's power. It's freedom. It's you unleashed.
That definitely raises a huge question.
It does. When you're pursuing success and control using this kind of calculated self-mastery, where's the line? How thin is the line between necessary strategy and, well, calculated cruelty? Where do you draw that line?